Hi, and welcome to episode 54 of Talking Small Press Comics with musical background by Steve Keeter and me, Larned Justin. Very nice.
Happy.
Very nice. I didn't even know you could play that. I knew you were a musician, but I didn't know you could play that box. Very cool.
I wish it was a Jack in the Box. I wish it would pop up and be like a picture, I don't know, Joe Biden or somebody. Poof.
No, I don't need that.
Just in time for Halloween. Yeah.
Okay.
Halloween's coming up, folks.
Yes, it is.
And here we are.
And we got a good magazine here a zine for Halloween.
We do.
In this show, yeah.
Hope everybody's doing well. We're happy. We're in our Halloween costumes. This is not how we really look.
What we wear for Halloween.
Yeah, we are amorphous aliens, actually.
See, this is a fake beard.
It is. This
is
fake.
I have the real beard in my pocket.
Yeah.
This is fake. So,
I didn't know that about you, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So what are we going to do?
Let's look at some comic books. Small press comic books.
Why not?
You got any?
Yeah, well, it's Halloween, so we're going to start right off with a bang with
Horrendous.
John Muller's terrific
This is
Horrendous.
You want to have some fun with the kids and everybody for Halloween, you get this. This has got all kinds of neat stuff in it.
Horrendous. And I saved a message from John that kind of explains it. He says Horrendous was originally a souvenir book for the local comic shop, comic book store's Halloween Comic Fest event. That sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. Featured almost exclusively local creators, and also served as a book they could bring to signings and conventions to have for fans. Thus, you will find pages that are left for sketches from artists at conventions and stuff. So this book is featured at conventions. And and you got puzzles.
You got puzzles. You got games to play.
Yeah,
you
all
got
kinds
blank
of cool
pages.
stuff.
There's some blank pages. You can draw your own stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stories in here.
And he says, John says it's grown past that now for a few reasons, and now includes people from all over the country. Yeah. So he's branched out. We got people like Tom Felrath in there. We got other people contributing. The great Joseph Morris.
I don't know their name offhand, but Joseph Morris is in there, like you say.
Yeah. It's the local creators. And where does John live? Wherever it is. I could tell you really quick, but I'm not going to.
Tom Felrath has something in here.
In fact, I should be able to tell you immediately. Just a second.
Where he lives? Okay. But this is really kind of a fun thing. Here's a Joseph Morris.
If you need to know John Muller's address or Joseph Morris, it's right here in Tetragrammaton Fragments. Maybe we'll talk about this later, or maybe we won't.
I thought we would. Yeah.
Maybe we will.
Well, now you've given it all away.
Oh well, John Muller lives in Scotrun. What is PA? Is that Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, yes.
Pennsylvania. He lives in Pennsylvania. Joseph Morris lives in Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah.
So that's a very sophisticated place to live.
There's, all kinds of drawings in here you can color. These are you can color all these.
Yeah.
Have fun
But
that.
There's some great comic strips in here too.
Right, there's comics in here.
And after look to the front, we got the Golem, or the Golem, as you may call him.
By Joseph Morris.
Joseph Morris. Our pal Joseph Morris. And, the Golem looks like a terrifying creature. And all these people are saying, kill the beast, smash the eggs, because he's guarding some eggs. And so they fire, and all, with fire and all kinds of force. And the Golem says, back off, you dopes. He's not having any of it. So this fierce-looking creature, and let me see. This book is like 80 pages. I'm turning the pages here.
Yeah.
And so it turns out he's guarding the eggs for someone else, Lady Naga, and so after he runs off the humans, who are much more frightening than he is,
Yeah.
he's like, "It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing a nap."
There you go.
And that's the golem.
Yeah. End. That's the end. And there's other stories in here.
I like this one. Monster Wrestling. Who did that? Because you have to go to the front because some people don't sign their work.
They don't say who it is. Yeah.
It's another local artist. Monster Wrestling. Brett Weiss. Brett Weiss. Well, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, it's basically the title gives it all away. There's monsters. That's the Frankenstein monster.
Wrestling each other.
Yeah. Brian Wayne Powell, if you're watching this, you would appreciate this. So you got the Wolfman versus the monster versus Vlad. That would be Dracula, looking somewhat like the Submariner here, because we've never seen Bela Lugosi never stripped down to his speedos and
Yeah,
posed.
I never knew he was quite that muscular.
Yeah. And there's the creature from the Black Lagoon. They call him El Hombre Branquial. I don't know what branquial means. I know some Spanish, but I guess it means he's like lives in the water or something. It's great. They got a play-by-play. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wild.
The monster is calling to be tagged, and while Vlad is down, the Wolfman goes to the tightrope. The Wolfman is going for a frog splash.
Yeah.
So the Wolfman is jumping on top of Dracula, and and it just
It's not typical wrestling.
not typical.
Wrestling. Just has different characters. Boo, boo,
Dracula.
boo.
Yeah, it's just like real wrestling.
Real wrestling. They've
This
got
guy
boos
has-
and everything.
He's obviously watched his wrestling. As much as the Dracula looks like the Submariner, the Frankenstein monster looks pretty much like the Incredible Hulk. But comparisons aside, this is a funny story.
Yeah.
And I got a kick out of it. There's more, and I could go on. It's 80 pages, so I don't want to
Yeah, we don't want to give everything away. But
too
look at
much.
Look at the drawing right there. Look at that guy.
Yeah, again, you have to go to the front to look.
I don't think
But
it has his name. Yeah, you got to go all the way back to the front.
But I'll show you. Let me see, 'cause I'm not sure about the artist, but I think it's Tom Travers.
Okay.
But this, I'll tell you, the best, to me, the most awesome page in the issue is this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think
Very
that's
cool.
this guy, Tom Travers, whom I haven't heard of before, but look at the detail. And it's in a story about these three guys who are like trick-or-treaters, and they come to a house, and someone gives them these monster masks. Well, it actually turns them in to monsters.
The monster, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
But
gosh! Look
I
at that
think
page.
this is pencil, don't you?
It looks a
think
lot like
it's
like
pencil.
it might be reduced from the pencils.
Yeah. But it's great.
Look
But
at
I
this.
mean,
Look,
it does. Look at the pencil work.
yeah. I
Very
mean,
cool.
this is
Yeah.
really nice, really nice stuff. That alone is worth the price of admission for this issue.
Tom Travers. And he has a little sketchbook in here. There he is. That's Tom Travers'
Wow.
little sketch there. Look at that.
I definitely
Isn't
would
that
like to see. Yeah, definitely. I would like to see more by this guy. We got
Only
something
thing
by.
is that, yeah, that's Travers. And then,
We got
here,
Rusty Gilligan. Dan Gorman and Rusty Gilligan have a page.
just a little bit more of Dan Travers there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
That he's pretty much he pretty much takes the prize for this issue. That's really great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all great. It's all
No,
excellent.
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, you can't go wrong. I don't know the price. And I got a feeling that he may have sent a letter or something with this.
Okay, I do have a
price.
I do have a.
You have a note.
He sent me a message. He says it's 82 pages.
Okay.
It's on Amazon. You have to order it from Amazon. He doesn't say the price right here.
Well, if you could read this right here, it would tell you the price, but I can't read that.
Let's see what it says. It doesn't tell you the price.
No.
John might have mentioned it to me. He might have mentioned it.
I think he may have said something when he sent me mine, and I, like a dope, I don't have the letter he sent with it.
Okay, with the miracle of the internet and the miracle of Facebook Messenger, I might be able to discern this because I've been messaging with John.
And then John might even make a comment on his video and tell us the price. That happens a lot.
I don't see. He doesn't seem to list the price. It's at
I
least
don't know, but whatever it is, you can have a lot of fun with the kids with this. There's nothing in here that's objectionable for kids.
No.
They can do the coloring of the pictures. They can do all the puzzles, the games. Have a great time.
This is a ton of fun. No kidding.
Yeah.
A lot of great people. All these great people contributed, and Tom, and the quality, the printing, and everything is just outstanding.
Excellent. Yeah.
So this is the Halloween book to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and
this one.
It's even orange.
That's right. It's orange. The cover's orange.
There you go.
And
we gotta find something else.
On here.
Moving along.
Yeah, we got more crazy monsters and science fiction and everything, and they all come together.
This is very cool. Oh, this is really neat because for me, I am a Wally Wood fan, and there's a bunch of Wally Wood stuff in here.
Right.
And I gotta show you this by Scott McClung, who draws.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, look at this. Is that Wally Wood or not? It is not. It is Scott McClung doing Wally Wood.
It's hard for me to believe.
You can't believe
that he just copied a drawing by Wally Wood. I mean, maybe it looks. I mean, I wonder
how he did it.
I wonder if he inked an old LO by Wally Wood or not. Or he just.
I have no idea.
I guess he recreated it
from a number of different Wally Wood drawings. Is what I think.
Oh, you think so?
Well, that's what I think, but I don't know.
This looks like Wally Wood, and you can see.
Here's the other exciting thing for me. I'll show you. If I can find it here. Yes, I have never known what Wally Wood looked like.
Oh, I have.
There he is. But I never did. I never seen a picture. Yeah,
now one thing.
That one, get over it. A little bit.
If you ever read, well, if you ever saw anything Wally Wood's early work on Daredevil or the Tower comics, specifically the Tower comics, and a lot of times Wally Wood would draw. He had this thing about putting a face, not a face, but a shadow on one side of a person's face. And a lot of the Zillows had the shadow on one side. Now, Chuck Robinson and I attended a convention up in Virginia in like 1973 or so. And Wally Wood was there, and he gave a speech. And we were waiting for the shadow, but and he did, in fact. With the lighting, there was a shadow on one side of his face, but it was on the opposite side of the face from in the comics. So it might have been on the left side in the comics, but it was right in real life. The shadow was on the right side.
I'll be darned.
So we made a quip about that, but it was cool.
These are all classic Wally Wood.
I've talked about that before. I know I've talked about that, but seeing Wally Wood in person, that was a high point.
Oh yeah,
for me as a comics fan.
There is a typical Wally Wood right there.
Yep.
The Spaceman. Look at that.
Some amazing
he's
stuff.
Just a great artist.
Yeah. Well, it goes on about his work for Galaxy. You know, that science fiction and fantasy magazine, Galaxy.
Yeah.
I guess it's not around anymore. I've lost track. I used to buy these magazines like that, but
yeah, there's a whole article here, Wally Wood's Galaxy, and that's where all these. There's a number of Wally Wood drawings throughout the book, throughout that article.
And this article is by Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson talks about Wally Wood's work in the 1950s and 1960s on science fiction, on Galaxy magazine. He talks about the EC comics, Haunt of Fear, Weird Science, and Weird Fantasy. Wally Wood was a big fan of science and encouraged Bill Gaines to add science fiction titles to the horror comics that he was publishing with EC at the time. So Wally Wood, he influenced so many people, and wow.
Well, the only place I really knew of Wally Wood was in Mad Magazine. That's where I discovered him. And but he did so many things.
His style was distinctive, it was clean, it was unique, and it was wow. I mean, what can you say? He was a dazzling artist. Influenced a lot of people. Dan Burke. Hi, Dan, if you're watching. I just got you confused with someone else. Who is that? I can't think right now. A guy used to do the Submariner. But he influenced other people, and you can see it sometimes in their work.
Sometimes, yeah. Here's a John Muller back page. Look at that.
Okay, I see Adam Strange and some other cosmic characters. Yeah. And what is this in the car here? What is this? Who's this in the car? Now, I've missed out on a lot of comics. Kind of reminds me of Fred McMurray driving a flying car in an old Disney movie, but I don't know.
I don't know who that is. I don't know. We have to ask John who he put in there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that is.
And is the front cover, who's that? Is that John Lambert? No, it's Donald Tenney. Donald Tenney and Troy Boyle. You might have seen Donald Tenney's work online.
I am, yeah.
But here he is inked.
He does many different styles, Tenney. You never know what style he's going to do. And
I think he does all his artwork on like a cell phone or a tablet. He does all his artwork that way.
Really?
And here he is and he doesn't do artwork on paper. He does it all with a phone.
Really?
Yeah, and it turned out pretty good here, right?
Yeah.
So
Alan
lots
Freeman,
of other.
He does this on Procreate.
The inside cover, Alan Freeman. It's called Off to Work. Mm-hmm. So there you go. She's giving her husband a kiss. He does that
on Procreate. Those kind of drawings.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really cool.
Anything by Alan Freeman is definitely worth looking at. We got John Lambert contributing a science fiction strip here.
Yep.
He has a distinctive style. He's got a style all of his own, but it's quite good, you know. This particular story, written and illustrated by John Lambert. He says, for the great Jim Maine. The great Jim Maine, of course.
Of course, is the guy that produced the book.
It's been publishing Pazit for 50 years.
Yeah, and it's another great
More
issue.
Than 50.
All science fiction from movies and things like that.
Yeah. Some of this art from...
now, he has I don't know how...
John Lambert.
I'm not sure. This is an old strip that he reproduced.
I saw that.
Somebody. I have to look and see.
Oh, yeah. The Last Man Returns. What does it say in the front? A classic comic tale by Bob Powell. This looks like it was published in a real comic book.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's
a real comic book. This is a real comic, but you know what I'm saying? Mainstream.
I think it's fairly old, I believe.
It looks like 1950s. What it looks like.
That's what I would guess.
You got this.
Really
you got this hideous-looking beast here, which is actually a mutated human from the future. Mm-hmm. And he's time traveling. He goes back in time to create chaos, and I guess to avenge him. I have to read it again, but to avenge himself on humanity. Yes, it's your explorations that made me, and I've returned to tell you how I feel about that. So he blames all humanity for mutated humans in the future. And, the thing is, they're prepared to deal with this. At this time in human history, they're able to do time travel and manipulate things. So they send him. They think, oh yeah, you're here, and you think this is bad, and they send him back to prehistoric times, and he's like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this time? You think this time was bad? How about this one?
There you go. And there's a
Mother, a strip by Rick Lineker, his brother Alan.
Alan, yeah. I'm
And
just looking at that.
Inked by Jack Bertram. Rick is still around. Alan, I don't know what Alan is doing, but he hasn't really. We haven't seen Alan in a while, but Rick is doing stuff, and this is a fun strip too. And it's space travel, and it's got space travel, and well, I mean, this is what an alien looks like, according to the Linemaker brothers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I live next door to that guy.
Yeah. And I won't give away the ending on this one. I will say that I guess these are Earthlings, and they travel to this other planet, and it seems like they're being welcomed by a big crowd of aliens welcoming them to the planet. And the guy says, "Wow, I feel like a rock star." But then, and I won't reveal the ending. You have to buy the book.
The ending, yeah.
Present number 51 from Jim Main.
And do you recognize another Wallywood type style? Right in the back.
At the end there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really a lot of brushwork and everything that he did.
Yeah.
And it looks, you can tell it's his, but it looks different than a lot of his other ones.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's present number 51.
Great. And this is
$6.99
$6.99.
from Grim Jim Main.
36 pages. And there's, like I said, there's stories in there to read. There's comics in there to read.
No, I will mention this story, Devil 13, by Michael F. Halsell. It's a text fiction story. And we got artwork here, I think it's by Tim Boyle. Mm-hmm. But it has to do with, it's sort of a Bigfoot situation where you have this giant monster, they call him the Devil, and he's got bat wings and horns and everything, and certain people are out to kill him. They look at him as a threat, and he's not the only one. And there's one guy, Tom Racher, who's been following this creature, and what happens is the creature and he develop. They're able to communicate. At first, Tom thinks it's his imagination, but the thing is actually communicating him. It turns out he's not such a devil after all, and so the Racher he says, well, he just communicates with him, and they have that bond, and it's a really strange story because you have all these other people who are searching for him out in the forest, and one guy who finds out, like as I say, he's not so evil, even though he's called a devil. It's the Jersey Devil.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of the Jersey Devil before. Oh, yeah.
The creatures, it says, the bright light of the day, the wide brown baddish wings, the goatish face, which at any angle could have passed for a horse's, short but sinewy arms, long fingers with sharp black nails, a forked serpentine tail, pointy horns, and hooved legs, all bracketed by curly grayish-brown fur. The writing is really good. The descriptive aspect of the writing is really well done. And Tim Boyle, when he drew it exactly from that description, and it looks great.
Yeah, got it down. Got
it. So that's the story.
That's a good one. I mean, there's a bunch of good stuff in there. So
as a comics fan,
enjoy that.
I have to admit, as a comics fan, I like to read comics, and when I come across a text story, the first thing I go is, "Uh-oh, this is a commitment. I got to read this. I can't just look at the pictures. I've got to actually read this." And then I flip through and I go, well, how many pages is it? Okay. And then I steel myself. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like 6 pages. That's fine. I enjoyed reading it. If it's like 20 pages or something, it'd be more of an effort. I'm sorry. I'm just admitting I'm a human. These are my human frailties. You want things easy. You don't want... Living in the internet age, you know. So, but it is a great story, and it really one of the highlights of the issue. It's really an excellent story and well worth reading. So,
well, the whole book is
my hat's off to Tom Hassel and everyone involved there.
Okay, so next we got. Are we doing 2 at the same time here?
We got 2 energy girls here.
We got 2 energy girls.
Now
one is a bit older. And that's this one here. Let me just show you.
Yeah, these don't follow consecutively.
This is an older one. And usually when we get an older one like that, we're not sure if we reviewed it before or not. I don't
we
think
haven't
we
reviewed
did.
this. The only thing is, I've got some other energies, girls. I should have dug them out for this. So this one kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm not sure. I might have the second part of it.
This is part 1.
But this is issue number 41. And the other one is issue number 44.
Yeah.
And
here's something that I wanted to bring up. If you look at the artwork in this one, which is 41, you will see an outline around all the figures. You see that?
Right.
And we've talked to Ken about that. And we said, well, what do you think? We're not real crazy about the outline around every figure. Well, he said he kind of agreed. And in issue number 44 here, the outlines are gone.
And which is interesting.
We think, at least I do, I think it looks better without the outlines.
Issue number 44 does look great.
There may be a couple older drawings in here. In fact, this one on the left may be older because it does still have the outline. Yeah.
But, but the outlines...
The new ones, there ain't nothing wrong. But it does, to me, look better without it. Don't you think? At least I do. And you can put in the comments what you think. But you'd have to buy the book to see it.
They both look great. This new one rocks. I think didn't mean to be critical. I mean, it's all a matter of a personal style. So we pointed out things in the past, but it's really up to the creator. Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever they want to do, but he did remove it. I like it. I think he likes it, and it looks good.
It does look good. It does look good.
Yeah.
That new one, that story in the new one is quite dramatic.
Yeah.
In issue number 44.
How can this be happening?
We have a battle between Energy Girl and her protege, Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Energy Girl trained Fantastic, and they're not supposed to be fighting.
However.
So this is pretty startling. You see that Fantastic is sweating here because she didn't expect to be attacked by her mentor.
Yeah.
And her mentor and Energy Girl means business. I mean, look at her. She's bulked up she's like She-Hulk. I mean, maybe more muscular, but she's been working out and preparing for this moment of confrontation where the story's great. She mentions Fantastic and some words that they had years ago, and all of a sudden she's throwing it up and saying, we need to fight, and I'm going to, we got to score to settle.
I just wanted to mention, he did draw himself. That's Ken Bailey right there. And now look at this. There's the Ken Bailey of the photograph.
That's Ken the man right there. The real Ken.
Nice caricature of himself.
Really nice.
Very
Great
cool.
work.
Yeah. Nice going, Ken.
And this new issue is easy reading because most of the issue is made up from with one-page illustrations.
Yeah, it's all splash pages.
Following seamlessly from one page to the next, and there are panel breakdowns, but
Some, but a lot of splash pages which look really good.
And that's not all. We got another a female, super muscular female. What's her name? Armageddon. Armageddon, who enters the picture. Mm-hmm. And she has been a villain in the past. And here she is trying to help defend Fantastic against Energy Girl, who's gone completely insane. So the heroine of the book is the villain here. And the villain of the book is one of the heroes.
That's a little different. That's a little different.
Until you get to the ending, which is a surprise, and I won't give it away.
No.
It's a surprise ending. In the earlier Energy Girl, this one's a rather more complex.
Yeah.
This one has to deal with time travel. I guess time travel is the thing today. Time travel is what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it's Energy Girl, but it also has Nico and Marie from Joe Corrales' comics in here. Let's see, did Joe write this or did Ken write this whole thing? I think Ken wrote the entire book, but he's using those characters. And Energy Girl is in it. The evil organization from Joe Corrales comics, Orko, they're in there. And first Nico, who can change into a cat or whatever, one of the two mailroom superheroines, she is transported back to the past. And eventually, there's a lot of stuff about aliens, and it goes back over the origin of Nico and Marie, and explaining time travel, that time travel is not a straight line. You think time travel is in a straight line. Not exactly. It's like this. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why you can jump from one place to another, because it's not straight. You can jump from here to here. Well, it's all explained right here. And, of course, it makes sense. So...
But anyway, you got another thing, if you want to see what Joe Corrales looks like. Of course, we've interviewed him. You may have seen that. And there's Ken. And David...
Martini.
Who helps out.
Technical consultant. He's a U.S. Army veteran.
He's wearing a uniform here. So I guess he knows what he's talking about. So, great.
But this is a action-packed story. There's military, there's time travel, there's superheroines all coming together, and a couple of generals, one from actually the year 2009, which is the 2009. This deals with Marie and Nico as they were in 2009, and takes them back to 1947.
1947, right here, yeah.
For this epic battle, and it turns out the evil organization Orca was around in 1947, or at least they time traveled back to 1947 and began causing problems there. So,
usually, time travel comics kind of confuse me a little, but...
Energy Girl, they want to use Energy Girl to fight the enemies, the good guys do. She says, Colonel, I am at maximum power as long as I keep exercising regularly. And at maximum size, I can get even bigger for short periods of time. It's called a power surge. So, she's right at the front lines of the conflict, because Energy Girl has that power, and that power to, here I go again, but hulk herself up to get even bigger. So, it's a great comic. I enjoyed the heck out of this.
Yep. Two
Ken Bailey.
Great comics.
Yep.
Very good.
So, it's up to you. Whatever you think. The white line is
white
distinctive.
Lines or no white lines. Comment. What
it's
do you
still
think?
a great comic. But it's a stylistic attribute
it's a
of Ken's.
Approach.
I could see both combined, and I could see playing around with that. But it's really up to the artist, the creator.
It's up to the artist, but I like it without it, but that's fine. Whatever. They're both good. Doesn't matter.
Either way, it is interesting to see it in the new book. without the white line. It's just for
Yeah,
comparison's sake.
Yeah, just to see what it looks like. Sure.
So, yeah, I'm trying to decide what I like better, but they're both great. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the great.
What do you want?
The great
Steve
Cranium
Willis.
Frenzy.
Yeah.
Number 21.
Number 21.
Now, inside here, you may note this. This guy's elbows have heads and they talk.
They do.
So there is a whole story in here about the elbows and they're talking and so forth. But I have a bone to pick with our friend Steve Willis. I'm going to show you. Yes, this is very serious. This is the world's funniest joke. Now, the last time that he published the funniest joke, the Buttercube brothers melted on the joke, and you couldn't hear the punchline. Couldn't read. They smeared it all. You couldn't read it. So this time, Steve, unfortunately, did not secure the middle panel, and it slipped out of place. So these construction workers are in there trying to fix it right during the punchline of the world's funniest joke.
Right, renovating right in the middle.
Once again, we don't get the punchline from the funniest joke in the world, which is what this is.
Well, the punchline is there, but it doesn't make any sense because you
don't get the middle.
And the porcupine said to the anteater,
That's Steve's fault for not securing the panel. I don't know what the heck to say. Now, it says, when the punchline's delivered down in the bottom here, laughter ensued for 57 minutes. Now, we don't get a chance. Yeah, we don't get a chance to participate in that. And it's Steve's fault. You can't blame anybody else. So, And the Buttercube brothers are on the back, by the way. They are. And on the back, yes, they are. Don't cause any problem this time, which they're relegated to the back where they belong.
They're saying they're not actually butter cubes, they are sticks of butter. Cube is simply a colloquial term, you moron, it says, and they're arguing, you're the moron. Anyway, they have a heated argument, so you can guess when you apply heat, you could guess what the results are going to be with the Buttercube brothers.
They melded themselves again.
Yeah,
with a heated
the same
argument.
Results.
Yeah.
And this has got some crazy. This is hilarious. The first story is the wreck of the Kanibi Z Bazibi. And here he is, this guy. His name is Kanibi Z Bazibi. And, he says, this fellow I am acquainted with, let's call him by his initials, KZB, for privacy reasons, although his name is Kanibi Z Bazibi. Okay, and he just said, Steve just said that for privacy reasons, and so it looks like he gave it away, and you can see that Kanibi there's not too happy, looking straight at Steve. And you go on. It explains the cast of characters too. Where you talk. Here we go. We got elbow number 1.
Oh, well, that's right. Elbow. I was going to ask. Elbow number 1. Yep. Elbow number 2.
Elbow number 2.
Of the elbows in this story, who have heads and talk.
And this guy, cranium number 1. Thus we have our cranium in this story, and his 2 talking elbows.
Yes. Cranium number 1 is the guy, with the talking elbows right there. That's him.
But I love it. Let's see. One morning, Kazibi starts hearing things. He starts hearing music in his head. So, and here he is right here. This is the first time he's hearing it, coming in both ears, and it says, this old man, he's a nut. He pulls theories out his butt with a knick-knack paddywhack. Throw the man a bone. This crazy man calls internet home. and this theme keeps coming back up.
We should have had your guitar.
Yeah.
And had that
4-part harmony
sung properly, but we didn't. Now there's some more musical over here. There's more lyrics over here with these folks at the bottom of this page.
This old man, such a tool, he's become a cyberfool. With a knick-knack paddywhack, it's progress you can't stop. We'll fill the world with info slop. But it goes on. I see the one you're looking at. That's with the little guys dancing.
Bottom,
Yeah. Now these little guys in checkered outfits with funny hats.
This old man, such a dupe, will turn
his brain into
goop. With a knick-knack, fatty-whack, get this man online, when his soul will become mine.
At one point, one of the characters, he's a guy called, I can go back here, Snoodle B. Clapsaddle.
Oh, yeah.
There he is, right there. He can't take it anymore, so he jumps on him. Silence, left ear, and muzzle, right ear. Can't take it anymore because this song, but then it looks like it's coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
This old man tried to stop his fears, but he just gave us a new set of ears with a knick-knack, paddywhack. Human tide is on the ebb. You can't stop the World Wide Web. This is crazy. And now I'm not going to be able to sleep because I got that song in my brain.
Yeah, and that's why Steve did it. We know that. It's going to be in your head all night and mine.
I hadn't thought about that in probably decades, that song, but it all comes back to me now. So any of those other...
catalog, right here. Catalog.
A catalog, that's about cats.
Yeah, cat.
You got a mirror cat, a mercat in front of the mirror, meerkat. What's this one? That one is Ghost and Mrs. Meerkat, and then a mere cat.
There you have
it. If
catalog.
you need, yep, that explains it all. So now you've got all that. But one of the great things, and there's another story, the Throp the Process.
Yes.
With this guy with Larry Fine hair here, and strange things going on as always in Steve's story.
Right.
There's cats. These cats. He's got cats, and all the cats are saying "Throp the process, throp the process," and he's trying to figure out what does that mean. So, and he never does really figure it out.
No.
But he does travel through. It looks like a strange dimensional. There's black holes in the sky and something up there that just consumes people. And this, of course, is all normal stuff. I mean, Steve is just telling you the way.
He's just telling you the story.
And one of the best parts, and this must have taken hours to work out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The index.
Yeah, the index.
At the end of the book, he has an index. And what's it, a 19-page book? 20-page? Yeah, 20-page book.
Yep.
Index of everything in the book, and it's really comprehensive.
Yeah.
We got black holes on page 15 through 18, cats 11, 14, 16 through 18, consume, elbow number 1, and
number 2.
Grocery stores.
He's got
and
it
on
all.
and on and on. Everything, sabotage, renovate, repair.
So
everything is in the index. If you miss any detail of the book,
if you miss anything, you go right to the index, and you go right back to the page, and you look at it again. So there's no excuse for screwing this up.
This is great, Steve, you nut. This is awesome stuff, man.
They're great. They're great.
Great Steve Willis.
Steve Willis. Yes, sir.
No doubt about it.
Yep. Nobody quite like him.
one of the funniest books that I've seen recently.
Yeah.
And,
well, we got this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who published that. Some who.
Oh, yeah, this is a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved here.
But this is the UFO newsletter, Tetragrammaton Fragments, the latest issue, which I published as chairman. And I'm not going to get into it, but as you guys know, I've been chairman on and off of the group for 50-some years. But it's a lot of work putting this together. But you get a lot of contributions from other members of the group, and even ex-members. Here's a former member, former chairman, Jeff Wood, has a Snow Bunny strip in here. So it's a reprint. It's a reprint, but it Snow Bunny's at a party, and all these guys who were members of the UFO at that time show up, including Jim Main and myself, Steve Shipley, Alan Freeman. They call him Alien Freeman. But
they're all
there he is right there. And a lot of other guys.
I was wondering on the back here, who did this on the back?
That's Joe Eli Corrales. He did the front cover.
Joe did that.
He did the front and the back cover.
Okay. Well, I was trying to figure out the back. I thought it was, draw this picture and learn how to draw, but it's not exactly that.
And it looks like a real ad. So I wouldn't be surprised if people fill this out and send it.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get anywhere if you fill that out, though.
Draw your favorite characters, and you'll be a winner and receive Tetragrammaton Fragments. So there you go. But there's columns in here.
All kinds of neat stuff.
All the members. Here's from Verl Bond. Some of the columns have artwork in them. There's some artwork by Verl Bond. I think that was in one of Jim Main's books. And
lots of articles by the. There's reviews of all the comics that were submitted. What, last time? Is that how it works? They review the comics that were
whatever is it in the 2 months. This is a bi-monthly publication, so every 2 months the members will comment on the publications that they have received recently.
Each member writes a comment on each book, so you can get different viewpoints on the books that they're looking at. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, and there's work. There's John Muller. John Muller's advertising Horrendous here.
I was going to say there's his ad for Horrendous,
which is not a UFO publication, but it's available through Amazon, and we already discussed that one. Tom Felrath is posting pictures of his books, what's coming up, and what's going on. There's a lot of the columns. There's a lot of columns. Joe Eli Corrales also has a lengthy column in this issue where he reviews comics and talks about comics and the comics community in general. So gets into a lot of detail.
If a non-member wants this, how much is it?
$3.50 per issue for a non-member.
Okay,
just send it to me.
It's how many pages you got here, Steve?
This is 60 pages.
60 pages for $3.50.
Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a little less. Now, next issue, because I need to take a break, and I got this number 10 that I'm working on, we have an emergency chairman, someone who takes over if the chairman needs a break, and that is Rob Imes. Rob will be publishing the next issue in 2 months. But you can order from him or you can order from me. Either way, you're going to get it. So, but it's all the news and everything that's going on in the United Fanzine organization with lots of artwork and articles and really neat stuff. There's a long column from Larry Johnson, and and all these guys are great talents whom I'm proud to be associated with.
You want to know something very interesting? We started videoing this at 1 o'clock. It is now 2 o'clock. That is perfect timing.
Well, I'll be darned.
Perfect. We are really good. I'm telling you.
I
guess
that's it. That's going to be it for today then.
We got them all.
I want to show this. Rob Cooley has some new zines out there, UFO zines, but I just thought this particular piece of artwork was really cool.
Yeah.
Rob Cooley. What a superb talent and what a distinctive style. Anyway. There we go.
There's a Steve Willis. Usually sends original drawings with his comics. So if you get a comic from Steve, he will probably include an original drawing. Always, usually, on the back of Fancy Feast cat food. Because he has
calories.
a cat. Yeah, and he has a cat. And this one is just on green paper, but it is about a cat. So, just thought I'd throw that in because he always sends those along.
This is like a flower guy. This guy's he looks like a flower, and this guy says, if all you want is for people to feel sorry for you, well, go petal it elsewhere.
There you go.
Flower petals, get it?
Yeah, got it. Don't explain it. I got it. Oh boy. Okay. Well,
before we leave, I'm just going to mention this. We're not going to review this time. I actually ordered this on my own. I just want to mention my good pal, Tony Lorenz, and this book that's out there somewhere.
Oh, John Tar. Yes.
The complete John Tar that presents all the stories. Tony Lorenz illustrated the first John Tar story decades ago, and look at that cover. It's got foil stamping.
Foil, yeah. Now you do need to give a shout out to Power Comics because they were the ones that.
Right, the Power guys are responsible for putting this together.
Yeah, Power Comics. And so they have gone through that thing page by page. If you want to watch their video, you can see it page by page, and they talk about it.
Yeah, and it's got all the John Tar strips, every John Tar strip that's ever been published by Tony, and then there were other artists. And Tony has some new stuff and unpublished stuff. And, if you order directly from Tony, you get a free sketch.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So you can get it through Tony, or you can get it, I think, through Amazon. I think is the other outlet. I'm not sure.
But this is beautiful. I mean, if you want to contact, go to Power Comics on YouTube. All the information should be there.
Yep.
Beautiful full-color back cover.
Yeah.
And, oh, my gosh. Work by Bill Miller. Tom Tarpey,
and I don't know how far back the original issue goes, but it's a ways back. I know that. Is it in the 80s or something like that? Or do you know?
I think it's in the 80s, the summer of 1984, I think.
There you go. Yeah.
Started in the 80s. 17-year-old Tampa native Tony Lorenz.
17 years old.
Drew the first
and he could
story.
draw like that in the 80s.
Yeah, he was already pretty good. And over the years, he's just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah. Wow.
So definitely worth checking out. John Tar, the complete John Tar. It's like $30, I think. It's like $29.99.
It's a big book.
And totally worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think
that's
we're done.
it.
I think we're going to say goodbye because I think we're done. So.
We got the next episode. Tell them about the next episode.
Next episode is going to be an interview. That will be episode 55. We're going to be interviewing the guys that produce Yeet.
Yeet Comics. Yeet presents.
Yeet presents. Yeet Comics. Susie Steam is part of Yeet.
Shane Luttrell. Mike Jones, who's the mastermind behind the whole thing.
And Shane Luttrell is the artist behind Steam, Susie Steam. Those guys will both be here. So we are really looking forward to doing that. I'm not exactly sure when it'll go up, but we're going to be doing the interview fairly soon. And we're excited about it.
We hope you check that one out. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Keep your eyes open because that is the next video after this. This one will get up first, and then that one will be after. So you don't want to miss that. If you've seen Yeet or you haven't seen Yeet, you want to make sure you see this so you can hear about it. And you'll learn what it's all about. We will have background music like we always do. So you don't want to miss that next episode. I'm going to say goodbye to you as you play us out.
We'll see you next time.
See ya. Goodbye.